Hello, my name is Rob, and let's talk some video games, shall we? Today, Nautical, PlayStation 4, although it is also available on everything, really. The Zen Studios game is also available on Switch, Xbox One, Windows, iOS, Mac OS, and TV OS. So, you can get it wherever you want, really. What is it? It's a tactical turn-based RPG with roguelike elements. Nautical combines immersive gameplay with a cartoonish, yet captivatingly eerie tone. Supernatural forces have overwhelmed the cruise liner called Hope with mysterious, malevolent monstrosities. Fight them off as one of 4 unlikely heroes. Names withstanding, because they're not important to this piece, but there are a black woman who's a cruise ship. She wants to have a career as an entertainer. We have a gamer girl, a Private Dick style character in long brown trench coat, and a Yakuza enforcer. All of them are very broad stereotypes, so take from that what you will. And as you start, you're on a cruise ship, something attacks the boat, you are basically one of the survivors. You've got to survive, roguelike RPG. I'm going to drop a clip here, because I'm going to break convention with reviews, and also, I really like the way it sets up its stall at Nautical.
Yes. There you are, oblivious, drifting through the Atlantic. You know not what awaits you, gifted one. You know not what drew you to this ship to begin with. You ponder the voice in your head. Might these other foolish mortals hear it as well? I assure you, they do not. Nor are they necessary. Their reality will not miss them. Their reality will soon be no more. Welcome to my realm, child. A realm of darkness. A realm of despair. A realm of dread.
Pretty cool, right? And multiple things in this which I really feel like I need to talk about. Tonally, I really like what it's doing. It has a cartoony style, but it also has this real sense of dread, as the title suggests. Looking at the art style first and foremost. As a technical exercise, I understand why it looks the way it does. It's on multiple formats with multiple different technical limitations, so it has to have some level of consistency throughout all the different versions of the game. However, that being said, the style is very much divisive, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Because essentially it looks like it would be a scaled up version of digitized or video game version of a tabletop game. The characters look like vinyl figurines, and if you spent some time playing the board game and you painted them and you have that level of attachment to them, or you're coming from a theoretical tabletop game to play this on a console, you'll have that attachment. But not having that, it's kind of just alienating and weird, really. It sets up a tone which is very serious. It's very much chosen ones and demons and monsters. You got to survive. You got to find survivors, find out what certain books mean, what dreams mean, and help characters along the way. It has everything about a game which has a much bigger budget in maybe the mid-range or above arena, but aesthetically the cartoonish is a right descriptor, but it kind of takes you out of it because it never felt like I could really get invested in it because it just looks so alien, so other. Obviously there's an intent behind that, but when it's not immediately understandable what the message behind a style is, more often than not you will find it alienates the people who are playing it or want to play it, because the people who want to play this sort of game, a roguelike RPG with strategy RPG elements, where you have got to survive, find survivors, all this sort of stuff, that appeals to a very strict type of gamer who will look at this art style and think, no thanks, don't like that, looks weird, looks like it's for kids. Generalising again, so please don't be offended by that. It will be true more often than not, which is kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around. The gameplay as well, it takes a little while to reveal itself, as strategy RPGs often do. However, it's kind of contrary to strategy RPGs that I have played in the past. There is some which use the square mechanics, in which you have like a set number of squares on the game board, let's just say, and you have a certain number of moves you can do per turn. My experience, they tend to be a bit more aggressive. There's very few which are defensive, and this one is one of the defensive ones, in the sense of that you have to get the attention of the thralls or the rollers or the meat men. I'm calling them meat men because I can't remember the specific term, and meat men's a much better one, and make them come to you, also while making sure that you aren't on a panel which will make you easy target. That's important because, like a strategy game or like a survival horror game, ammunition is at a minimum, and more of the weapons tend to be things that you bludgeon with. And with, again, going back to survival horror, the things that heal you being very minimal, you have to be super defensive. You can get a little less defensive as you get new members of your survival team, but at the same time, it's very difficult, and personally speaking, I don't think the whole idea of survival horror works as a die and try again sort of thing. I mean, obviously, people might be good at the game, people might be bad at the game, so people will die and try again, but the roguelike is based around that you die and try again and it changes, and I'm not sure that really jazzes together as a concept. And that ultimately is the takeaway from Nautical. It's like two games with two very different identities grappling within the same ring. It's just too much of a thing to wrap my head around in particular. There is an audience for this, but as I alluded to earlier, I think it's more of an audience that will come from a tabletop background. I wanted to be part of that audience too, because as a big fan of nautical horror, this is right up my street. That's Nautical, available in all those formats I mentioned at the front of the review. Click like, comment and subscribe, and we shall see you next time.